Some of us are kind of bored playing the same old famous AAA single-player games. So in this video, I will be diving into my selection of top 10 amazing games that you probably have never played. Whether you're a seasoned gamer seeking something new or a casual player looking for a hidden gem, this list has something for everyone. You will likely find all sorts of different gaming genres that will give you an immersive gaming experience. Number 10. Vampyr. This one is a classic thrilling vampire-themed game. There really aren't any good single-player vampire games out there. And well, this game literally puts the fate of London into your hands. It's set in the early 20th century London in the aftermath of Spanish flu epidemic. So, the game depicts dark environment, morally ambiguous characters, and spooky streets or alleys. Basically, our main character becomes a vampire, and the story reveals around him as he handles his newfound powers while battling other vampires or supernatural beasts along with human criminals. The best thing about Vampyr is that all the choices that you will make in this game will have consequences. You can either kill and take blood of the NPCs, or just let them go. However, as you progress through the story, you will eventually need to satisfy your thirst for blood, resulting in making some heavy choices. The combat feels really satisfying. It's something that you can expect from a AA game. I personally like this game as it is a slow-paced, single-player game that lets you freely explore the idea of becoming a vampire in a dark London where the inhabitants are suffering from sickness. Mostly it's about finding a cure and truth about the ongoing disease while dealing with your own vampire superpowers. The most unique feature of this game is its moral dilemma. Your ethics and decisions will always get tested as the game gives you choices between staying faithful to your doctor's oath and the thirst for blood. Every life saved or taken has ripple effects throughout the city, altering its balance of power and potentially unlocking new narrative branches and endings. Number 9. Metal Gear Rising. This one is a pure hack-and-slash gem that players have been sleeping on for a long time. I don't know what the developers were thinking when they made this game. It's a completely different game from other installments in the Metal Gear series. I remember I had an insane blast while playing it, and there's a good amount of fast-paced hack-and-slash combat. You will feel an absolute beast capable of killing or slaying anyone that comes in your way. Story-wise, it's not that good, but you only need to focus on the combat part, which will give you literal chills. The level of difficulty is balanced except for the final boss. I mean, that guy was on a whole different level. It will surely take you a couple of tries to defeat him as there are multiple phases and a big health bar. I suggest that if you want an all-out thrilling experience with satisfying soundtracks and music along with a decent level of action-packed combat, then don't look further as Metal Gear Rising will be your prime choice. The visuals also deserve credits, as sometimes the game shows cinematic cutscenes where you will be slashing through waves of enemies or running on a glass building. There's just a lot going on at the same time in this game. The word boredom will never pop up in your mind as Metal Gear Rising combines all the basic features, perfectly giving the players an unforgettable experience. I honestly think that a lot of players don't know about this hidden gem, or maybe the original fans of the series didn't like this one as it's a standalone edition, which is not the Metal Gear series is about. Nevertheless, you don't need to actually play any of the previous Metal Gear games to understand this one. It's a completely different nerve-wracking experience. Number 8. Evil Within 2.
I am his now. I helped him hide, and in exchange, he gave me a new life.
By now, we have all heard about the name Evil Within, especially the horror genre fans. In fact, there's also a movie about this. The reason why this game is mentioned in this list is because even though some of us have heard about Evil Within, we most likely have never actually played the game, much less the second installment. I believe that the first game kind of ruined its reputation, but this time things are different. Evil Within 2 is one of the best open-world horror games of recent years. The best thing about this is that it takes everything from its predecessor and improves upon it, while also adding some new mechanics or features. The graphics in this game are simply stunning, and the environment gives a psychological sense of horror. Some might compare this with Alan Wake 2, but it's nothing like that. Both games showcase different aspects of horror gaming genre, and Evil Within 2 is much better in having a thrilling experience while killing different monsters. The game also features a mediocre storyline, which is enough to complement the overall gameplay and visuals. The major highlights are the villains and the monsters. Even if the environment doesn't give you a horror feeling, then surely the monsters and soundtracks will. The game is more focused on becoming an awesome main character capable of killing any monster that comes in his way. Unlike the previous game, this time the game gives you a complete survival feeling by including upgrades, healing items, and new difficulties or powers after certain progression. Evil Within 2 gives the players an opportunity to become insanely strong throughout the entire playthrough, rather than just getting by or being at the mercy of monsters.
Thank you, Sebastian.
Number 7. Sifu. Now I admit that this game might be the only choice that most of you have played at least once. I am not exaggerating here, but I'm confident that Sifu will give you guys a thrilling experience of high difficulty, much like some other best open world games out there. This one is the newly released hardcore martial arts game. Take my word for it, if you like fighting and martial arts or kung fu, then just go for it, get your copy, and play this game. To put everything briefly, the game offers you 5 different stages, each containing mini-bosses and one final boss. You must clear all these stages in one go. The highlights of this game are the different martial arts moves and the environmental objects that you can use to kill the enemies in multiple ways. Along with this, the death in Sifu is not simple. Instead, you will grow old each time you die, means you will start to lose efficiency, agility, and attack power. So, despite all of this, you still must finish the game in one single playthrough. The game is highly engaging as you also discover shortcuts or unlock doors to save time getting to the final boss. Honestly, Sifu is a AA game that proved that even small companies can make high-quality video games. The difficulty and addictiveness in this game is nothing like I have seen so far. It made me stay on my PC for 12 hours straight just to complete the game. The story is also touching as the main character avenges his master's murder by killing all 5 major final bosses. The key features in this game are the fast-paced martial arts, the newest death mechanic, level designs, and environmental killing methods. I highly recommend getting this game. Number 6. Sunset Overdrive. This game is made by Insomniac. I think this is all you need to know to start playing this game. I don't know why, but Insomniac had a really good chance making a sequel, or perhaps a remaster of Sunset Overdrive. The game is an example of something that you will play after a long day of work, or maybe while having a Coke and some snacks. It's a really fun game with goofy humor and funny characters. It also reminds me of infamous games. Sunset Overdrive kind of got lost between the popularity of the company, as most of us only know Insomniac for Spider-Man and Ratchet and Clank series. You may even feel the presence of parkour in this game. The game perfectly combines several gameplay mechanics, goofy humor, and traversal combat. The combat is not too difficult nor too easy. It's a perfectly well-balanced experience capable of making the players feel like they are on a roller coaster ride of interest and overall fun. You will also see several video game references in a funny way that makes the overall gameplay really engaging. This game may not be for everyone, but it's the best one if you like to take a break from all the serious hardcore RPG games. Along with some cool fourth-wall breaking moments, Sunset Overdrive is an underappreciated gem that truly deserves a sequel or a remake. The main character is also an outgoing, chatty type of person who will make every interaction playful and funny with his dialogues and punchlines. You can surely choose this game as there aren't any hardcore boss battles or deep storylines that require serious focus.
This place needs is a hero. One who doesn't just survive, but does it with style. Who is this hero? Me!
Number 5. Bully.
You punks, if it's the last thing I do!
Hey, Jimmy, are you crazy?
I'm gonna hit you till you love me.
The amount of fun you can have in this game is mind-blowing. The whole point of the game is to prank others, attend classes, mess with other students, and in the end rule the whole school. This open-world game gives you complete freedom to roam around the entire city. It's kind of like Grand Theft Auto, but with no violence and guns. I have talked about Bully several times on this channel. The game always gets a mention in video topics such as best hidden gems, underrated games, old open-world games, and more. There are only 2 things that you need to know before you become fully convinced that you want to play this game. And the first thing is that Bully is made by Rockstar. The second is a completely new, distinct open-world setting. Honestly, Rockstar made a true gem that never gotten enough appreciation. This game highly deserves a remake. Bully is an example of a high school dream come true. You can roam around the school freely, skip classes, make a mess, pranking teachers and fellow students, and finally becoming the king of the entire school. Side quests and mini-games are so much fun, you will never have a dull moment. The story is basically simple. You just must become the best and strongest while having a lot of fun throughout your playthrough. I would recommend trying it out if you're in a mood for some fun and want that nostalgia feeling. You can make your wildest high school dreams come true in this game.
Oh, relax. That was hysterical. Oh, no!
Number 4. Darksiders series.
Please, please, please tell me you're a planet of...
This 3-installment series had all the potential of becoming the next Devil May Cry, but who knows what happened. Low-key, even the name itself sounds awesome. I guess we can call Darksiders the series who didn't know what it wanted to be or how it wanted to be presented to the players. There are a lot of mixed features and mechanics in these games, so sometimes defining a specific genre for this game becomes slightly hard. The hack-and-slash gameplay is so much fun, but the open world and some puzzles kind of ruin the game in my opinion. The overall game is an open world, but some areas are inaccessible, which means that players must play the storyline linearly. The characters are really cool though. The bosses are predictable and not that hard, especially in the first installment. For me, the puzzle stuff was irritating as most of the time you enter a room and figure out which switches to press or which levers to pull. I mean, I can do it a few times, but not always. It just felt too much. RPG fans will be disappointed as there are not many options for customizations. Almost all the weapons and armor are fixed. Now, one thing I want to highlight is that throughout all 3 games, some mechanics or features are improved while some still stay the same. So, if you don't like something in the first game, then there is no reason not to play the second one. I suggest doing your own research and checking gameplay footage for a better gaming experience. Across all 3 installments, you will see a lot of awesome characters sharing biblical references. Also, the artwork is amazing and deserves a lot of appreciation. The games are old though, so probably lack in terms of visuals and graphics compared to modern console games. Number 3, Freedom Fighters.
Throw those babies! Oh yeah, baby! Steve!
Big nostalgia smack in your face. Anything I say about this game will always be less. Personally, if there is someone here who has played this game, then you, my friend, is a true gamer for a long time. I know that for some of us, Freedom Fighters brings so many great childhood memories. This is a game that is put together in a list along with Project IGI, Max Payne, San Andreas, Prince of Persia, and many more. In fact, I don't even remember much about this game. Also, funny thing, the only gameplay scene I can remember from Freedom Fighters is a guy throwing Molotov. That's it. This is the only clear memory I have of this game. Everything else is too foggy. I am not recommending this game to anyone because it's a really old game and you will surely hate it or simply quit it, as there are plenty of high graphics and better gameplay modern games in the market. The only audience that I want to reach with this game is those who have actually played it several years ago. I just want you guys to feel some nostalgia and remember your great memories. Also, share your experiences with me in the comments. We all love third-person action games combining different genres. The game was released back in 2003 on PlayStation 2, so the name itself, the third-person action shooting genre, and the storyline are the only 3 things that made this game great. Nevertheless, thanks to the developers for providing us with an amazing experience. I wish they make a remake, maybe even in the future.
Rather than the soldiers.
Number 2, Infamous Second Son.
Don't be a dick. Not bad.
Now, I wanted to put the first part in this list, but then I decided why not talk about the second one, as it's more graphically and visually improved installment. There is a really good chance that some of you have played this one, especially those who owns a PlayStation. Infamous is a game that you only need to play if you love parkour and free running, combining with some of the coolest powers in video game history. This is a game where your only game is to just run around and have fun with your powers while showcasing some cool parkour moves. The story is okay. You only need to worry about your choices in this game, as your choices will decide whether you have good karma or bad karma. All this will change certain cutscenes and some missions or gameplay mechanics. Despite all this, I suggest play this game like you play Spider-Man games, without focusing too much on missions or story and just simply swinging your webs or using your powers. I forgot to mention, Infamous 2 offers the main character 4 different powers named as Smoke, Concrete, Neon, and Video. The best thing about these powers is that they all have different uses. The protagonist also looks super awesome while using these powers, especially Video and Smoke. Most of the enemies are humans, or let's just say military soldiers and robotic vehicles. Infamous 2 literally has a lot of content for the players, such as cool characters, beautiful map, awesome powers, crazy twists, and an overall fun gameplay. You don't need to play the first installment, as everything is easy to understand in the newest part. Also, Infamous 2 is more visually improved along with some new gameplay mechanics.
Ugly, deep-spirited superpowers. Oh no, I'll never surrender. I am a bioterrorist. I eat children. And
Number 1, As Dusk Falls.
That big truck way up there.
Depends what part of the truck.
Okay, Smarty. How about the exhaust pipe?
It is a game where your choices really matter, and it's one of the most unique games I've ever played. It's a lot like a visual novel. The art style of As Dusk Falls is different from most games because it uses a motion comic art style instead of full animation. This mix of stop motion and comic book styles makes it look really cool. Some people might not like it, but I thought it was awesome, especially with the incredible voice acting. In As Dusk Falls, you spend a lot of time making decisions that change how the story goes. Even the small choices can turn out to be really important, so you have a big impact on the story. The story is about two families whose paths cross on a crucial day in 1998. The first half of the game shows what happened on that day, and the second half takes place years later, showing the long-term effects of those events. It's a really well-made interactive story game. The choices you make feel meaningful, and there are lots of different possible endings. You'll find yourself really caring about the characters, both the main ones and the side ones. The visuals mix beautifully drawn characters with 3D environments, adding to the game's unique feel. Now, here are some bonus games that will give you an immersive gaming experience. Prototype.
We nearly took that one. Stabilize and reform on target zone, over. That's a hit. Check for hull damage, over. Continuous, please, and engage.
Okami. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. Alright, this concludes the list of 10 games that you probably never played. I know that there are a lot more amazing games left besides the ones I have mentioned in this list. I will surely make another video about it. So, comment down your favorite games that you think are underrated or hidden gems. Also click that subscribe button as I am close to 3,500 subs. It honestly takes a lot of time to edit and write the script of these videos. So your sub will motivate me to make much more amazing gaming content. Thanks, and I will see you later.